Hi guys, welcome again to our Micro C Pro for Peak tutorials for Absolute Beginner series. This is tutorial 27. In the previous tutorial, we learned how to use the external interrupt on port B. In this tutorial, we're gonna continue with interrupt. We're gonna learn how to use the peripheral interrupt.
A peripheral interrupt is an interrupt generated internally by the PIC microcontroller peripheral. This could be generated by the PIC analog to digital module, the USART module, the comparator, and so on. In part 1, we said there are 10 registers which are used to control interrupt operations. These registers are RCON, INTCON, INTCON2, INTCON3, PIR1, PIR2, PIE1, PIE2, IPR1, and IPR2. In part 1, we use the INTCON, the INTCON2, and the INTCON3 registers to control the external interrupt. In this part 2, we're gonna use some other registers to control the peripheral interrupt. This is a data sheet of the PIC 184520 series. We also learned that the interrupt source have 3 bits to control the operations, the flag bit to indicate that an interrupt event has occurred. This bit has a name ending with IF. There is an enable bit which allows to enable the interrupt. This bit has a name ending with IE, and there is a priority bit to select the high priority or low priority, and this bit has a name ending with IP. The INTCON registers, as we have learned, are readable and writable registers which contain various enable, priority, and flag bit. In INTCON 1, we've got this 8-bit. Bit 0 is RBIF, which is RB port change interrupt flag. If this flag is 1, it means at least one of the RB7 to RB4 pins have changed status. Bit 1 is int OIF, which is an external interrupt flag bit. If this bit is 1, it means int 0 or port RB0 external interrupt has occurred. The INTCON bit 2 register is the timer 0 overflow interrupt flag. Bit 3 is RBIE, which is RB port change interrupt enable bit. If you want to enable the interrupt on port B change. Bit 4 is int OIE, which is int O external interrupt enable bit. If you want to enable the interrupt on port B0. Bit 5 is timer 0 overflow interrupt enable bit. And bit 6 is the PIEE, which is a peripheral interrupt enable bit. This is the bit that we're gonna use to enable the peripheral interrupt. If this bit is set to 1, then it's gonna enable all the peripheral interrupt. And if this bit is set to 0, then it's gonna disable all the peripheral interrupt. And lastly, bit 7 is the global interrupt enable bit. If this bit is set to 1, then it's gonna enable all the interrupt. In INTCON2 interrupt control registers, we've got also 8-bit. There's nothing much that concerns us in this register for this tutorial. And in INTCON3 interrupt control register, these are the bits that are used to control the various interrupt. There's nothing much that concerns us in this register for this tutorial. But what is more important for us is the PIR register. The PIR registers contain the individual flag bits for the peripheral interrupt. Due to the number of peripheral interrupt sources, there are 2 peripheral interrupt request flag registers, PIR1 and PIR2. In PIR1, we've got the following bit. Bit 0 is timer 1 overflow interrupt flag bit. Bit 1 for timer 2. Bit 2 is for CCP1 interrupt flag. Bit 3 is for master synchronous serial interrupt flag. Bit 4 is transmit IF, which is a USART transmit interrupt flag. And bit 5 is RCIF, which is a USART receive interrupt flag. If the USART module of the PIC microcontroller receive any data, then this flag is gonna be set to 1. And when the USART module transmits any data, then this bit 4 is gonna be set to 1. Bit 6 is ADC converter interrupt flag. And lastly, bit 7 is parallel slave port read-write interrupt flag. This is the second part of the peripheral interrupt request flag, the PIR2. This is the PIE register. The PIE register contains the individual enable bit for the peripheral interrupt. If you want to enable any peripheral interrupt, this is the register to use. To enable the USART to receive interrupt, bit 5 must be set to 1, which is RCIE. TXIE to enable the transmit interrupt, ADIE to enable the ADC converter interrupt, and so on. PIE2 contain the rest of the peripherals. And lastly, the IPR register contain the individual priority bit for the peripheral interrupt. If you want to set the priority levels of your peripheral interrupt, then the register to use the IPR register. We've got bit for different peripheral, like for the ADC. If you want to set the ADC converter interrupt priority to 1, this is the bit to set, which is bit 6, which is ADIP. The TXIP is for the USART transmit priority. If this bit is set to 1, then the priority is gonna be high. But if it's set to 0, then the priority is gonna be low, and so on.
In this example, our main code is gonna blink the green LED D1 at an interval of 1 second continuously, and our interrupt service routine code will blink fast the red LED D2 at an interval of 200 milliseconds 5 times. So when the PIC receives a specific data on the USART module, in this example, when it received a 1, then it's gonna jump the execution of our main code to the interrupt service routine code to blink fast the red LED. Any other character will be ignored, and after blinking 5 times, it's gonna jump back to execute the main code. Let us go to our micro C and write our code. This is the code that we have created. We are using the PIC 18F45K22. We're gonna use an external crystal oscillator 8 MHz. This is our main function. The first thing, we're gonna configure port C and port B as digital input output pin. So we're gonna disable any analog function on port B and port C. Then we're gonna configure port B as an output. This is gonna be our local flag bit. We declared bit flag. We're gonna initialize the USART module at 19200 bit per second. The first thing, when we start our program, we're gonna send a message to the screen, welcome to studentcompanion.net. Then on the second line, we're gonna send press 1 for interrupt routine to blink red LED on RB5. This is how we can enable the peripheral interrupt using micro C. The first thing, this bit, PEIE bit, this is gonna enable the peripheral interrupt. Whether you're using the USART, the analog to digital converter, the CCP interrupt, or any other peripheral interrupt, this bit must be set to 1. Then you'll need to specify which peripheral interrupt we're gonna use. In this case, we're gonna specify RC1IE bit. This is gonna turn on the receive interrupt on USART1, the RX pin. If you were using the USART2, then we're gonna write RC2IE bit equals to 1. We're gonna clear the interrupt flag bit RC1IF. Then we're gonna enable the global interrupt GIE bit equals to 1. Then in our while one loop, we're gonna blink the green LED connected to RB4. So we're gonna say let B.F4 equals to complement let B.F4. So the first time it's gonna switch on RB4. Then after a delay of 1 second, it's gonna complement the value of RB4. If it was 1, it's gonna go to 0. Then after a delay of 1 second, it's gonna go from 0 to 1 and so on. If our local flag bit equals to 1, then we're gonna jump to the interrupt service routine code. Otherwise, this section of the code will always gonna be ignored, so it's only gonna blink the green LED connected to RB4. As we have learned in the previous tutorial, this is how you can declare an interrupt with micro C, void interrupt. When there is an interrupt on USART RX pin, this flag bit RC1IF is gonna be equals to 1. Then we're gonna read the data and store it in the receive data variable. We're gonna say receive data equals to wart1 read. Then we're gonna check if 1 was pressed, then only we're gonna proceed with the interrupt service routine code. So if receive data equals to character 1, we're gonna set our local flag variable to 1. Then we're gonna clear the interrupt flag. So once this flag equals to 1, we're gonna jump to the blink interrupt function, which is our interrupt service routine code. And this code, we're gonna loop 5 times. We're gonna switch on the green LED connected to RB5. After a delay of 200 milliseconds, we're gonna switch it off. Then after 200 milliseconds, we're gonna switch it on again, this 5 times. And after 5 times, we're gonna continue the execution of our main code. Let us build our code. Build. Finish successfully. Let us go to our simulation. Run. Welcome to studentcompanion.net. Press 1 for interrupt routine to blink red LED on RB5. You can see our main code is blinking the green LED at an interval of 1 second, on 1 second and off 1 second. Let us use the on-screen keyboard. So I'm gonna send some characters to the serial port. If I send a 4, it's gonna be ignored. If I send a 5, it's gonna be ignored, even if it's gonna raise an interrupt, but we're not gonna do anything. Send a R and F, but if I send a 1, it's gonna stop everything and execute our interrupt service routine code, which in this case was blinking the red LED 5 times. If the green LED was off, it's gonna remain off and execute the interrupt service routine code first. And after 5 times, then it's gonna continue back. And if it was green, it's gonna remain green and finish first the interrupt service routine code first. This is how you can use the peripheral interrupt. All you need to do is to enable the peripheral interrupt, enable the specific interrupt that you are going to use, whether it's gonna be the TX or the RC or the ADC. Then you're gonna clear the interrupt flag and enable the global interrupt. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you've got any comment or any question, don't hesitate to write your comment on this video. And if you find this tutorial useful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to receive more tutorials in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.